Hey guys, this is Brian Burkford with Altitude Dog Training. I am so glad to be back with you for the third episode of Transform Your Dog, Transform Yourself. And the theme this time is the power of labeling, and it's a great topic. And right before we get into it though, I gotta remind you to subscribe to our YouTube channel and our e-newsletter. Why? Because you want to be the first ones to know when this new content is released on video. And if you go to altitudedogtraining.com to the Contact Us page, there's some additional information there about it. Okay, so why is this subject of labeling so important? Well, there's a variety of reasons, but chief among them is the fact that it's going to dramatically impact the effectiveness of your communication and your training with your dog. It's also going to have a huge effect on your life in general, your communication with yourself, with other people. And I want to start today by showing you a few pictures and video examples of what we're going to be talking about.
So what immediately comes to mind for you when you see a picture like this, or like this? What type of display are these dogs showing us? Would it be safe to label that as aggression? Well, as the videos play out, we actually see that it is submissive smiling, which is about the furthest thing in the world from aggression. And beyond that, it's about the cutest thing in the world you can ever see with a dog.
All right, we're back. So let's talk about the fact that we as human beings have such a strong propensity for immediately determining what things mean and classifying them and kind of categorizing them and filing them away really quickly. There's a reason our brains were designed to do this, and we're very good at it. The problem is, at least for me, I was making a lot of mistakes. I was making erroneous assumptions because I was jumping to conclusions about what a dog must be thinking, why they were behaving a certain way, what they were feeling, and I found it wasn't serving me. And so one thing that I've worked on a lot and I still work on constantly is when I encounter something, adopting a mindset of curiosity and creating space around a situation to where I can have that detached observation and really just let things unfold. And I feel like we, in general, have lost our will for practicing awareness. And in transformational dog training, I talk about this a lot in the second chapter, the concept of awareness and how to cultivate that. But the fact is, gosh, in our day-to-day life, these reflexive judgments, they color our world without even our conscious permission. After a while, we just see something, we label it, and then we assume that's what it means and we act on it. And when we really learn to get back in the driver's seat and create and direct our experience and stop being passengers, then we get our emotions to work for us, and it creates motivation and energy instead of worry and fear. Okay, so when we looked at those dogs earlier in the pictures and the videos, I think a lot of us, our first reaction to that would just be to label those dogs as aggressive. And as we saw later, that wasn't the case at all, right? And so what I want you to do is take another look at a photo and a video, and I want you to see how you feel about this experience.
Now that you've seen a couple other pictures of dogs submissive smiling, I bet when you see this one, your first response isn't to assume aggression. And you would be right, because of course, this is a very happy golden doodle, living it up, showing us his pearly whites and reminding us that the labels we put on things color our experiences, and we need to be very careful when we're choosing them.
Okay, now was that different? I bet that it was, and it's because of priming. Now, priming is an important concept because whenever we encounter a new situation, we reference things from our past and we look at all those categories and we try and file it away quickly, right? And we jump to conclusions and we make assumptions and we get ourselves in trouble. And so what we want to do is begin the active priming process, right? By utilizing our awareness, creating that space around the situation, guarding against assumptions, and just realizing that we can choose the labels that we give to things, any experience. And what we have to do in order to do this well is to master our internal and external dialogue. So when something happens, when we go like, oh my gosh, this is a total disaster, that's so much different than saying something like, I am mildly perturbed by this, right? It creates a different emotion and feeling inside of us, and we're drawing from different resources. And so we want to be in as resourceful of a state as possible. And so we create meanings with our words that empower us. That's how we get to the next level. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever had a life experience that you considered to be pretty negative, right? But then in hindsight, realized that, yeah, it wasn't particularly pleasant, but at the same time, like, look at all this great stuff that came out of it. If it had gone my way, it would have been a total mess. It actually was a very positive experience looking back, and we just have to kind of look back over time and realize that, man, the things that we've gone through and been through have really forged our character. And so, yes, again, they may not all be pleasant, but we have to be careful about making ourselves miserable by saying, like, gosh, this is such a horrible thing to be happening right now, and why is this happening to me? And I feel so defeated and depressed, and I'm so sad all the time, right? These labels aren't going to help. Here's another example. If you have somebody at the office that you tell yourself, like, I don't really particularly care for that guy at all, right? Much different than if you're going, God, I hate him. I just can't stand seeing this guy. Again, drawing from different resources and coloring your experience and making you feel so much differently, and it's not even helpful. But on the flip side, if we can look at what we have in our life that we are excited about, and when people ask us how we're doing, like, I'm doing okay. Really? Like, I'm doing great, man. I'm doing awesome. Find something that you can hold on to that's going to help you move in a positive direction, because if things aren't going in your favor and you keep focusing on those, for me, that has always just dragged me down farther. And so I've become really careful about the language that I use. And I think you guys know this through experience, and I just respect you guys so much, and I appreciate you watching these videos, and I hope this concept of labeling makes good sense, and that it changes your focus a little bit in how you work with your dog, how you think about dog training, how you think about your life and yourself, and how you frame experiences with your words. So I will see you in the next installment, and until then, you guys take care and have a great day.